Hey guys, Steph Mishchuk here with Killer Sites and Other Sites. So, in this vlog, I want to address an issue that came up recently in a previous vlog, and it is all about luck and business. Luck and business. Now, this goes back to being a coder and a freelancer. Let me just get to the point. So, one thing that you have to understand about business that there is always an element of luck to it. No question. I've been in business since I've been 18 years old, so that means I've been in business for about 456 years. So I have a decent amount of knowledge with regards to starting little businesses, building them up. My experience in business has taught me one thing for sure. Luck does play a role. This is something you have to embrace and accept. Now, in a previous video, I talked about how there are two basic ways to approach a new business. You can either come up with an idea in your head and throw it out there and see if you can find a client. And you see this a lot in VC-backed businesses. And they sometimes work, but it's very, very, very high risk. And in fact, many VCs know this. Well, they all know this. So they expect 80% or more of the businesses that they fund to fail. They make their money on the 1 or 2 home runs out of 10. Right? So keep that in mind. If you're building a business, most businesses fail in the first place. 80% of businesses fail in the first place in the first 2-3 years. So the other approach, as opposed to coming up with an idea and out of the blue or out of your head and implementing and see if you can find clients, the other approach, the approach that I advocate, the approach that I've taken over the years, is to become involved in a particular sector, a particular industry where you're able to identify a need, you're able to identify a problem, and then you come up with a solution to that problem. It could be a piece of technology, it could be a service supported by a technology, who knows. Very simple example. In my first business, when I was 18, slowly, I got going with it when I was 19 or so. We had a problem with a certain type of chemical buildup in water for high-end aquarists, people who kept high-end rare fish for public aquariums, aquaculture. So we were trying to address this problem. I'm trying to avoid details because most of you are going to be put to sleep. So we scoured about and we were able by fluke, I was able by fluke to find a product used in another industry to bring it into this aquaculture industry, and it was so much more effective. It was literally 10 times more effective than anything else out there. We didn't invent anything. We just took a product from another industry, actually in the apple cider industry, and we brought it into our industry. So there's an example. We saw a problem in the industry. We knew people were dealing with this problem, and we figured out a way to solve it. And we were able to solve it because we were lucky enough to find something that could solve the problem. So that's a big part of it. Coming back to it is luck. So that all said, I'm going to wrap this up now. If you can accept that luck plays a significant role in business, then, and I tell you it does, then that begs a particular business strategy regardless of the business. And what's the strategy? You don't really know what's going to work. It's like the hit songs. Like a lot of times these big artists out there, musical artists, you do interviews with them. They always, more often than not, they thought, when we put out this album, we thought track number 2 was going to be the big hit. It turned out to be track number 7, which we just decided to throw on in the last minute. You hear this all the time. And anyway, so that begs the strategy, and the strategy is getting a product out, a service out, an app out, a website up as quickly and as cheaply as possible to gauge the user response. That is the strategy, because you never know what's going to work, because luck plays a role. It's timing luck, it's competition luck. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. Take it or leave it. That's my experience for the last 462.5 years. Luck has a major role, so that begs the strategy. Get out as many products as possible, as cheaply as possible, so you can gauge the audience reaction to it, and try to understand the industry before you jump into a business. I'm just trying to save you guys a lot of money and wasted time. Even if you follow these steps, it doesn't guarantee success, but it will definitely improve your odds. Ciao, ciao.